This is Mr. Eugene, and today we're examining a pattern so predictable, so mathematically precise, so universal across thousands of breakups that once you understand it, you'll never waste energy chasing someone who left. She left believing she could do better. Not just better than the relationship, better than you. Better options, better chemistry, better life, better future, better everything. And when a woman makes that decision, she feels completely certain about it. In her mind, the story is already written. The life ahead will be more exciting, more fulfilling, more passionate, maybe with someone she believes is a superior match. Maybe just enjoying freedom she's convinced herself she's been denied. The certainty is absolute. The conviction is total. The decision feels irreversible. And if you react the way most men do after a breakup, the desperate calls, the emotional paragraphs, the attempts to convince her she's making a mistake, you only reinforce that certainty. The late-night messages begging for another chance, the long emotional texts trying to explain why the relationship mattered, the attempts to stay friends so you can prove your value. All of it sends the same signal. Losing her broke you. And if losing her broke you, that confirms she was too good for you, which confirms leaving was the right choice. But here's something strange about breakups that most men don't understand. Sometimes the same woman who walked away with absolute certainty is the one who reaches out months later. There's usually no big apology, no dramatic speech about regret, no acknowledgement that she was wrong. It almost always starts with something casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Like the past just quietly disappeared. Like she didn't destroy you and walk away without looking back. So what actually changed? Because when she left, she looked completely sure about the decision. Today we're examining what really happens in her mind after she leaves, the comparison trap that eventually catches every woman who left for better, the timeline of regret that unfolds so predictably you could set your watch by it, why her return is almost never about you getting better, but about her options getting worse, what you must understand, about her motivations when she comes back, and most critically, why by the time she returns, you should already be too busy building your new life to care. This is not about getting her back. This is not about revenge. This is about understanding female psychology so completely that you never waste energy on someone who didn't value what they had until it was gone. Stay with me. This timeline will explain everything that confused you about your last breakup. The certainty, a T departure, why she feels so sure. Let me start by explaining why she feels so absolutely certain when she leaves, because understanding this prevents you from taking the breakup personally or believing you failed. The narrative she's constructed by the time a woman actually leaves, she's been mentally and emotionally checked out for weeks or months. She didn't wake up one day and spontaneously decide to end things. She's been building a narrative in her mind, rehearsing the breakup, justifying the decision. The narrative she's constructed, the relationship has run its course. I've outgrown him. We want different things. The spark is gone and it's not coming back. I deserve better than what this relationship has become. There's someone better suited for me out there. I need to find myself, be independent, experience life. She's convinced herself that the problems are fundamental and unfixable. You're the primary source of her unhappiness. Better options are available to her. Leaving is brave and necessary for her growth. Staying would mean settling by the time she actually leaves. This narrative is so firmly established that questioning it feels like questioning reality itself. The grass is greener certainty. She's not just leaving what she has. She's leaving for something she believes will be better. In her imagination, other men will be more exciting, more successful, more attractive. Single life will be liberating and empowering. She'll finally feel the passion and excitement that's been missing. She'll be appreciated in ways you never appreciated her. The next relationship will be everything this one. This isn't uncertainty or hoping for better. This is conviction that better exists and she's about to experience it. That's why she seems so cold when she leaves, so certain, so unmoved by your pain. Because in her mind, she's not making a mistake. She's correcting one. She's not losing something valuable. She's escaping something limiting. The validation from her circle, her friends have been validating the decision for months. You deserve better. If you're not happy, you should leave. You're too good for him. There are so many men who would treat you better. Life's too short to settle. Every friend who told her to leave becomes invested in the narrative that leaving was right. They can't admit they gave bad advice. So they continue reinforcing her certainty even after she leaves. This creates an echo chamber where her decision is constantly validated and never questioned. Phase 1, the liberation high, weeks 1 to 8. Now let me trace the actual psychological timeline that unfolds after she leaves, because this is where men waste the most energy trying to interfere with a process that must run its course. The initial relief the first few weeks after leaving, she experiences genuine relief and liberation. The stress and tension of the failing relationship is gone. The guilt about wanting to leave is resolved. The uncertainty about whether to stay or go is over. She made the decision and now she's free. This feels like validation. The relief proves leaving was right. If it feels this good to be gone, the relationship must have been that bad. The attention surge, her phone explodes with attention. Friends want to hear the story and offer support. Family asks how she's doing and validates her decision. Men who were waiting in the wings suddenly have their opportunity. Dating apps flood her with matches and messages. Social media engagement increases when she posts about her. New chapter. The attention is intoxicating. It confirms what she suspected. She's desirable. She has options. She didn't need you. Better is available. The new experiences, she does all the things she felt she couldn't do in the relationship, goes out with friends multiple nights per week, travels spontaneously, flirts without guilt, sleeps with new people without commitment, posts photos showing how happy and free she is, makes impulsive decisions just because every new experience feels like evidence that leaving was right. Look how much she's doing now. Look how alive she feels. This is what she was missing. If you're chasing during this phase, if you're sending desperate messages during these first 8 weeks, you're confirming that she made you miserable, otherwise you wouldn't be so desperate. Proving she's more valuable than you because you're chasing while she's thriving, validating her decision. Your pain equal to proof the relationship was unhealthy, preventing her from experiencing the consequences of her choice. Giving her ego boosts that extend the liberation high. Every message you send resets the clock on her regret. Phase 2, the comparison begins, weeks 8 to 20. This is where the first cracks appear in her certainty. But most men never see this phase because they've already been blocked or she's too proud to show vulnerability. The novelty wears off, the excitement of something new fades. Not dramatically, gradually. The new guy she's dating seemed exciting at first, but reveals himself to be shallow, manipulative, unavailable. Doesn't know her deeply the way someone who spent years with her would. Isn't as invested because he didn't build with her. Often turns out to be worse than you in significant ways she didn't anticipate. The single life she romanticized is actually lonely on random Tuesday evenings, lacks the comfort and security of partnership, involves a lot of low-quality attention from low-quality men, gets exhausting rather than liberating after months of it. The freedom she celebrated loses its appeal when she realizes freedom just means being alone, feels empty without someone to share experiences with, doesn't actually make her happier. Like she thought it would, the brain starts comparing. Once excitement is replaced by normalcy or disappointment, the brain naturally starts looking backward. She begins comparing present versus past. This guy is fun, but he's not reliable like he was. These new men give me attention, but none of them actually know me. I have freedom, but I miss having someone who understood my life. I'm having experiences, but they feel hollow without someone who gets me. The stability that once felt boring suddenly looks valuable. The person who once seemed ordinary suddenly looks harder to replace. The relationship that felt limiting suddenly looks like it provided security she took for granted. This is when the first thoughts of regret begin, though she's too proud to admit them even to herself. The questions start, internal dialogue shifts. Did I make a mistake? Was the relationship actually that bad, or did I just convince myself it was? What if I was the problem? What if better doesn't actually exist? What if I gave up something good chasing a fantasy, but she's not ready to reach out yet? Too much pride, too much investment in the narrative, too much fear that you've moved on and won't take her back. Phase 3. The regret crystallizes, months 5 to 12. This is when regret moves from vague discomfort to crystallized understanding. But again, pride prevents most women from acting on it immediately. She sees your transformation while she was busy experiencing her. Liberation. You were rebuilding. If you did it right, if you didn't chase, if you focused on yourself, she starts seeing evidence of your transformation. Social media posts showing you've improved physically. Mutual friends mentioning you're doing really well. She hears you're dating or seeing someone. She notices you've achieved professional success. She sees you're happy, busy, thriving without her. This creates cognitive dissonance. She left believing you needed her more than she needed you. But you're thriving without her while she's struggling without you. The narrative collapses. If you're better without her, maybe the problem wasn't you. Maybe the problem was her perception. Maybe she walked away from something valuable. She realizes what she lost. Specific realizations that hit during this phase. No one knows me like he did. New men know surface-level information. They don't know her history, her family dynamics, her fears, her dreams, the thousand small details that build intimacy over years. No one treats me like he did. New men are often worse, more selfish, less patient, less invested, more manipulative. She realizes the complaints she had about you were actually minor compared to how most men behave. I gave up something real for fantasies that don't exist. The perfect man she imagined doesn't exist. The exciting life she envisioned is just loneliness with better marketing. I was the problem, not him. This is the hardest realization. Her unhappiness wasn't about you or the relationship. It was about her internal state, her unrealistic expectations, her inability to appreciate what she had. The temptation to reach out, she wants to reach out, but fear holds her back. What if he's moved on and rejects me? What if he's angry and cruel? What if he's with someone better than me now? What if reaching out just proves I was wrong and I have to admit it? So she waits. She monitors your social media. She asks mutual friends about you. She crafts and deletes messages she's too scared to send. She's hoping for a sign that reaching out would be safe, that you still care, that you'd be receptive, that she wouldn't be humiliated. The return, what her message actually means finally, usually between months 6 to 14 after the breakup, she reaches out. It almost never starts with honesty or accountability. The standard opening messages, "Hey, how have you been? I was thinking about you today. I saw something that reminded me of you. How's thing you mentioned months ago going? I hope you're doing well." Notice what's missing: apology, acknowledgement of pain caused, admission of mistake, taking responsibility. It's designed to test the waters without risking rejection. If you respond warmly, she can escalate. If you're cold or don't respond, she can pretend she was just being friendly. What she's actually communicating when decoded, her casual message means, "I was wrong, but I can't say that directly. I miss what we had, but I'm too proud to admit it. I'm hoping you've been waiting for me and haven't moved on. I want to see if reconciliation is possible without having to fully acknowledge my mistake. I'm testing whether you still have feelings I can leverage." Why she's really coming back, let me be brutally honest about her motivations. Because this is where men make the biggest mistake. She's not coming back because you got better. She's coming back because her options got worse. She's not coming back because she realized your value. She's coming back because she couldn't find better and realizes better doesn't exist. She's not coming back because she loves you more. She's coming back because being with you is less uncomfortable than being alone. Or she's not coming back because she's transformed. She's coming back because the grass wasn't actually greener, and she wants the security she discarded. This is crucial to understand. Her return is about her needs, her failures, her realization that she can't do better. It's not about recognizing your value or genuinely wanting to build with you. The transformed you, why her timing is terrible. Here's the part most men don't anticipate. By the time she comes back, you're not the same person she left. What changed while she was gone? If you use the breakup correctly as fuel for transformation rather than wallowing in self-pity, you've become someone fundamentally different. Physically, you're in the best shape you've been in years. You prioritize fitness and health. You look better than when she left. Mentally, you've developed emotional resilience. You've processed the pain and come out stronger. You're not desperate or needy. Professionally, you've focused on career and achieved things you'd been putting off. You're more successful, more confident, more established. Socially, you've expanded your circle. You have new friends, new experiences, new perspectives. You're not isolated and desperate. Romantically, you've likely dated other women. You've realized you have options. You know you're not desperate for her specifically. The person she left no longer exists. When she reaches out, she's looking for the version of you she remembers, the one who needed her, who would be grateful for her return, who would welcome her back with open arms. But that person is gone, destroyed by the pain she caused and rebuilt into someone stronger. The new version of you doesn't need her validation, isn't desperate for her approval, won't accept being a backup plan, has standards she now fails to meet, is genuinely happy without her, may be involved with someone else. This creates a situation where she comes back hoping to pick up where you left off, only to discover that the relationship she left behind no longer exists, and the man she left behind no longer exists either. The correct response: what you should actually do. So what's the correct response when she reaches out months or years later? The answer depends entirely on whether you've actually transformed or whether you've just been waiting for this moment. If you've been waiting for her, if you spent the whole time hoping she'd come back, maintaining secret hope, staying emotionally attached, you'll probably take her back immediately, and you'll repeat the exact same cycle. She'll feel grateful briefly. Then she'll remember why she left. Then the same problems will reemerge because neither of you actually changed. Then she'll leave again, or you'll both be miserable. Taking her back when you haven't genuinely moved on is a mistake that costs you years. If you've genuinely moved on, if you actually transformed, if you're genuinely happy, if you're living a life that doesn't need her, the correct response is either indifference or friendly distance. Option 1, polite indifference. "I'm doing well. Hope you are too." Then nothing. No elaboration, no questions, no engagement. Just acknowledgement and departure. This communicates, "I've moved on. Your return doesn't affect me. I'm not interested in rehashing the past." Option 2, honest boundary. "I appreciate you reaching out, but I've moved on from that chapter of my life. I wish you well, but I'm not interested in reconnecting." This communicates, "I understand why you're reaching out, but the answer is no." Option 3, if you're actually curious, if part of you wants to understand her perspective, not to rekindle, but to gain closure or insight. "I'm doing well. What prompted you to reach out?" Then listen to what she says. Does she take accountability? Does she acknowledge the pain she caused? Does she admit she was wrong? Or does she minimize, justify, and make excuses? Her response tells you everything about whether she's genuinely changed or just desperate. The questions you must ask yourself before responding at all: ask yourself honestly, do I actually want her, or do I just want to not be alone? Am I genuinely better off with her than without her, or am I just comfortable with familiar? Has she actually demonstrated change, or is she just experiencing consequences? Will taking her back improve my life or just create the same problems in a different timeline? Am I considering this because I love her, or because my ego wants the validation of her return? The brutal truth why you shouldn't take her back. Let me give you the hard truth most men need to hear. You should not take her back. Here's why. Reason one, she left when things got hard, the relationship had problems. Instead of working through them, instead of communicating, instead of committing to fixing what was broken, she left. That pattern doesn't change. When problems emerge again, and they will, she'll leave again, because that's her established pattern for dealing with difficulty. You're not getting a loyal partner who works through hard times. You're getting someone who abandons ship when waters get rough. Reason two, she explored other options. First, she didn't leave to work on herself. She left to see if she could do better. She left to experience other men, other lifestyles, other possibilities. She's only back because those other options didn't work out. You're not her first choice. You're her best remaining option after she exhausted the alternatives. Taking her back means accepting that you're the consolation prize, not the prize itself. Reason three, the power dynamic is poisoned if you take her back. She knows you were waiting for her, you didn't have better options, you're willing to accept being abandoned and returned to, you have low standards and weak boundaries. She can leave again, and you'll probably take her back again. This creates a power dynamic where she has all the power. She can leave whenever she wants, knowing you'll be there when she comes back. You'll never have her full respect or genuine desire in this dynamic. Reason four, you've built a better life if you actually use the breakup to transform. You've built a life that works without her. You're happy. You're successful. You're improving. You're free. Taking her back means disrupting what works to gamble on what already failed once. Why would you trade certainty of a good life for the uncertainty of a relationship that already proved it doesn't work? What you should do instead, build a life that doesn't pause. Here's what men should actually do after a breakup. Not to get her back, but to build a life so good that whether she comes back becomes irrelevant, cut contact, completely block her number. Unfollow on social media. Remove reminders from your space. No staying friends. No let's check in occasionally. Complete separation. This isn't punishment. This is creating space for actual healing and preventing you from being available as her emotional crutch while she explores other options. Focus on physical transformation. Join a gym. Hire a trainer. Get in the best shape of your life. Not for her, for you. Physical transformation creates confidence from visible progress, discipline from consistent effort, mental health benefits from exercise, attractiveness to other women, proof to yourself that you can change, rebuild your social world, reconnect with friends you neglected. Make new friends. Join clubs, activities, communities. Build a social life that doesn't revolve around her. Isolation makes you desperate. Community makes you selective. Pursue professional growth. Focus on career, business, skills, education. Achieve the things you put off during the relationship. Professional success creates financial security and independence, increased self-worth, social status, options. Women are attracted to successful men. Purpose beyond relationships. Date other women not to make her jealous. Not to rebound, but to genuinely explore what else is available. You'll discover other women are interested in you. She wasn't as special as you thought. Different women offer different value. You have options you didn't recognize. Moving on is possible and often better give it time. Genuine transformation takes 6 to 12 months minimum, not just behavioral changes, but actual identity shifts. Don't rush the process. Don't check if she's watching. Don't perform growth for her attention. Actually grow because growth serves you regardless of her. The ultimate outcome, being too busy to look back. Here's the ideal outcome, the one that actually serves your life. Months pass. You transform. You build a life you love. You become a man other women pursue. You achieve things you're proud of. You develop genuine happiness independent of her. Then one day, 6 months, 12 months, maybe longer, your phone lights up with her message. Hey, how have you been? And you realize something profound. You don't care. Not in a bitter way, not in an angry way, just in an indifferent way. She's a person from your past who left. You wished her well. You moved on. Her return doesn't move you because you've already moved yourself. You're too busy building your future to care about your past. You're dating someone better, or you're happy single, or you're so focused on your mission that relationships are secondary. Her return doesn't matter because you've built a life that doesn't need her in it. That's the ultimate outcome, not revenge, not proving anything, just genuine indifference that comes from genuine fulfillment. Final thoughts. Don't spend months convincing them if someone walks away from your life. Don't spend months trying to convince them they made the wrong decision. Let them believe the story they created. Let them experience the consequences of their choices. Let them discover that the grass isn't greener, that better doesn't exist, that they gave up something valuable. Focus on building a life that doesn't pause because one person left it. Because sometimes people do come back. The statistics are actually surprising. Many women who initiate breakups attempt reconciliation within 6 to 18 months. But by the time that happens, you should already be too busy moving forward to look behind you. You should be so invested in your new life, your growth, your mission, your purpose that her return is irrelevant. She left believing she could do better. Let her discover she can't. But don't be waiting when she realizes it. Be too busy becoming better to care whether she notices. Drop a comment about your experience. Or did she come back? Did you take her back? Looking back, what do you wish you'd done differently? Subscribe because this channel will continue providing brutal honesty about relationship dynamics that saves men from repeating painful mistakes. Move forward, build something better, and never pause your life for someone who walked out of it.